estás? ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué onda? What's up? How you doing? Welcome back to Plant Powered Barefoot Brent. Today's podcast is about silence from Karma Healing Nursery. Um, I hope you can hear me. I got my heater on. It's cold. As you can see, I'm sitting in my sleeping bag. Living in cement is not the warmest. That's for sure. But I love my home. So, and it's just exceptionally cold this morning. So I'm going to speak up anyways. I've got some moringa tea here too to warm me up as well. Delicious, fabulously nutritious. So today's podcast is about silence. Yeah, silence. So I'm going to talk up about silence. How funny, eh? Um, I'm a regular lover of silence. One of my favorite things to do, one of my favorite practices is vipassana. If you've never done a vipassana, I highly recommend it. I think I might have left the water on. Yeah, I did. There we go. Okay. If you've never done Vipassana, I highly recommend it. It's an amazing practice. Just check it out. Look it up in your area. There'll be probably a place where you can go and do it. It depends. It can be 3 day, can be a week, can be 10 days. But what Vipassana does for you is it gives you a chance to really listen to yourself, because at this point you tune in, you tap in, you tune into what's going on inside of you, which is also an interestingly magical process, because there's no distractions when you can't speak. I've done many vipassanas. I used to do them all the time on Salt Spring Island when I lived at the yoga center, and I'd wear a sign that said "on silence," and I'd wear it into town, and I'd go to all the different businesses that I went to get whatever I got, and I'd bring a pen and a paper, and I'd write down whatever I needed, or I'd play charades with them, which was always fun too. But it always gave people something to think about, because they were like, "What's this guy up to?" The longest I've gone is 24 days on silence. And wow, I highly recommend that. It's just it's incredible, because you get a chance to really tune into yourself. And my Baba Hari Das, on Salt Spring Island, he was silent for 67 years. 67 years. That's how long he didn't talk for. 67 years on silence. From the age of 28 to 95. That was my Baba Hari Das on Salt Spring Island. The longest I've gone is 24 days on silence, and it was magical. I highly recommend it. So good for you. It's so healthy, because you become aware of your thinking. You become aware of your thoughts. Buenos dias. And you can't escape your mind, because you can't tune it out by talking over top of it. It's there, and you have to pay attention. And in the future, in the very near future, the only thing you're going to have to pay is attention. Everything else is going to be free, because the systems that we currently have in place are not working. People are unhappy, unhealthy. So it's time for people to start to listen. And the best way to listen is to yourself. When you take this time to do a Vipassana, I highly recommend a week long is an amazing time. A lot of the Vipassana retreats are free. Most are free. You can go back and volunteer to give back to them, and they won't allow you to do stuff. You're not allowed to, you can't read, you can't exercise. It's just you and your thoughts. So you have to become attuned to yourself, to your higher self, and listen, because your higher self is always communicating with you. We have a very good a tendency to tune that out, and to either turn up some music or put something in our ears, or get distracted by, say, social media or something else. But when you're doing a Vipassana, there's none of that. It's just you and your thoughts. Buenos dias. Fully automated luxury. No. It's something that you can do for yourself, and I highly recommend that you do it. I'm gonna be 55 in January, and like I said, my Baba on Salt Spring Island, Baba Hari Das, was silent for 67 years, from the age of 28 to 95. 67 years he didn't speak. He did what he called chalk talk. He carried around a little chalkboard and chalk, and if anybody asked him questions, he'd just write down there. But he was one of the most highly productive men I've ever met in my life. It was mind bending to see how much he could get done. He was always doing things because he wasn't talking. He was an action guy, and actions speak louder than words. We're all nya 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 nya, but that's not the truth of who you are. The truth is in here. And when you take that time and you listen to your thoughts that are coming, you're going to tune in. You have to tune in to yourself. And when you tune into yourself, you'll realize that you are constantly receiving messages from your higher self to how to live a happier, healthier, more harmonious life. That's what your higher self wants for you. Your higher self wants you to be in in harmony with the world, in harmony with your life, in harmony with everything that's going on. But you have to attune to that silence, and it's not easy because at first you're like, wow, is there ever like I can't talk, and it's hard, especially when you're around people, to not speak. But I got real good at it. Like I said, I used to go into Salt Spring Island all the time and wear my sign that said on silence, and I'd bring a pen and a piece of paper, and if anybody asked me anything, I'd just write it down, or I'd play charades with them, which was super fun. And now this isn't going to be a very popular topic with most people because most people are not attuned to silence. They're attuned to noise and distractions and immediate gratification. And this is a different practice. And once you take this practice on, you have to become responsible for what's going on because you realize, there's always something communicating with me. I'm always being guided, but I'm tuning it out. I'm always tuning it out by putting things in my ears, by listening to stuff, by tuning into social media or the television or whatever it is. But you always have guidance. God, you, and I dance. That's guidance. God, you, and I dance. And so when you get to that place, I'm not sure what you're saying. And guru is you. Guru. Spell that out. Guru. You're the guru. And when you get that, you understand because you've been on silence. And when you're on silence, this is where you realize that you have that guidance and it's always flowing to and through you 100%. It doesn't shut down, it doesn't turn off, and it's always for your best good. It's always for your best interest. Your guidance wants you to be joyful. And when you're joyful, your guidance increases because you're listening. And this is the hardest thing to do as a human being, is to listen, because we've been taught immediate gratification right here, right now. What can you do for me? Patience is not a part of our culture. It doesn't exist. And like I've said in many of my previous podcasts, either you learn patience, Patience, or you become patience, Patients. And that's where you go to the hospital and they fill you full of chemicals and drugs and pills and injections and you die. So don't do that. Be who you are. And listen, 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 listen. What is the meaning of war? Um, it means that we're unhappy and it's all about money. We wouldn't war if there was no money, period. If there was no money, there would be no war. And that is the problem with our planet, is it's monetized, and the monetization system is inherently racist. The capitalist system is racist because some people's money is worth more than other people's money. And that's complete bullshit because we're all here on the same planet. I don't care where you live, it should all be 100% equal. So that's the cause of war. And ego, edging God out by not being on silent. If we had Vipassanas for our government, they would change everything because people that are silent listen, and when you're silent, you hear things. I disagree 100%. War is a product of the monetary system. 100%. I 100% disagree with you because it's all about resources. It's all about, well, even it's all about the monetization. Because if we didn't need to conquer each other, then that's because they people want more stuff, and it's ego based, it's ego driven. It's not a place of silence. When you go on silence, nobody on silence is in war. And I'm talking about silence. Whether I'm not sure why you want to have a war topic here, but I'm talking about silence. So please just listen, or I'll just close my eyes and not read the chat, which would be even better. So when I'm on silence, what I am attuned to, and when I close down my senses, I'm listening. I'm becoming aware of what's going on. I'm attuned to my higher self. And my higher self right now is speaking through me. War is a byproduct of ego. It's left brain thinking, not right brain thinking. And it's because of resources. And this planet is 100% abundance. It's full on resources. And there's absolutely no reason that we need to have more resources than anybody else. No, and the only one resource that really true matters is your higher self, God, the universal energy, source energy, whatever it is that you call it. That is your one resource. God is my doctor. God is my banker. God is my lawyer. God is my dentist. God is everything. And that's gifting oneness divinity. We are divine beings having a human experience. I'm day 16 now, completely clean and sober. I'm not a drinker, haven't been for years, but I've used cannabis for 42 years. I've taken many breaks. Right now, I'm on day 16, and I feel so clean, so clear, so alert, and so alive. My dreams are so livid, so vivid, pardon me. They're lucid. I'm just lucid dreaming like crazy. I'm seeing so many old friends. I'm seeing so many old customers. I'm experiencing all kinds of flight, which is my absolute favorite. I love flying around my dreams because I'm unlimited. When you're in the body, you're limited. You're limited by what the body is able to do. But when you leave the body and you go to astrally project and you get lucid, everything is 100% possible. There's no limitations. It's you are your highest self. And when you're your highest self, you recognize and you realize and you tune into that you are absolutely 100% unlimited in any single way. The limitations here on this planet have been put in place in order for us to eclipse them, to supersede them, to go above them, because all of this stuff that happens here is ego based driven, but we're moving out of that. That's left brain thinking. We're moving into right brain thinking. The male left brain side of your brain is ego dominated. It's all about money and war and all of the bullshit that's going on. But the right brain is your creative side, your feminine side. And we're moving back into that, what a place of loving, compassion, peace, kindness, and equality for everyone, because there's absolutely no reason there should be leaders or rulers. We are 100% sovereign beings. We are above the law. Law stands for land, air, water. It has nothing to do with you. And people think that they have to abide by these bullshit rules that have been set up. It's not the truth. You are a divine spiritual being having a human experience, and you can elevate yourself above all of the crap that's going on. All of the stuff that's going on this planet is a movie. It's just a movie, and the movie is always playing. The movie does what the movie does. It's like Yeshua, or Jesus as most people know him, but his name is Yeshua. Yeshua ben Joseph said, "Be in this world, but not of it." So be here, be now, be present, be 100% joyful, be full of life and love, but don't participate in the bullshit, because the bullshit is always gonna be going. As soon as you tap out of the bullshit and you tap into your higher self, by going to a place of silence, going to a vipassana, taking a retreat. Another thing that's really good is not chatting when somebody's talking, because you're distracting them from what their message is. It's better, if you want to be here, to listen. And if you don't know how to listen, that means that you are one of the people that has been programmed for immediate gratification. In the old days, when we were tribal society, every single decision that was decided was thought about for how this new project would affect the next 7 generations. 7 generations. So approximately 700 years. Now, today, in our society, with all of this instant communication, interruptions, we have an attention span of 7 seconds. That's the problem, because nobody goes on silence. Nobody takes time for their precious self and listens to their higher self. They want to be seen, they want to be heard, they want to be recognized. You are recognized by your higher self, not in this world of form, this ego-based place, edging God out. When you're silent, you're listening to God. God is speaking 100% directly to you. But you have to take that time to make time for your precious self. Meditation is a form of silence. It's not a vipassana, but it's a form of silence. And every time I meditate, I'm tapping into my higher self and listening for guidance. God, you and I dance. Guidance. God, you and I dance. That's me being attuned to what's true, what's real, it's love, it's compassion, it's peace. It is our natural state of being. And that's where we're supposed to go. Where we are now is we're moving through it. We're at a precipice in time, and it's absolutely phenomenal to see that this old world is dying. Everything's imploding. The monetary system, the governments, everything about it is imploding, because it can't survive. It's not meant to. You can't have an infinite supply on a finite planet. We're destroying Mother Earth in the name of money, in the name of war, because people are greedy. Greedy, 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 greedy. I want attention. I want money. I want all this. I want. You didn't come here to take, you came here to give. To give. God intended vibrational energy. To gift. God intended frequency transfer. To be here now, to be present, to be alert and alive, and to listen, to learn how to listen. Because if you don't know how to listen, you're just going to keep living the same cycles over and over. We've been taught that time is linear, that it goes from here to here. That's not true. Time is cyclical. Everything here is cyclical. We have seasons for a reason. Everything happens in seasons. If you pay attention to your life by listening, by being silent, you'll notice show up in cycles. And until you address, until you do something different about it, it's just going to keep showing up. That's how we learn lessons. And once you've learned your lesson, you don't have to go through that cycle anymore. You move forward and to your next lesson, and your next lesson will be better for you. But that's also a process. You have to get to a level where you're ready to learn and to listen. Everybody here is blah, 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 blah. Actions speak louder than words. That's why I love my Baba Hari Das on Salt Spring Island. He was silent for 67 years, from the age of 28 to 95, and he was one of the most productive human beings ever on this planet. He wrote 20 books. He sculpted 2 different ashrams, and he built most of it with his bare hands because he didn't talk about stuff, he just did it. Because he was silent, so he was attuned to his higher self and he was listening. And when you're tuned to your higher self and you're listening, you do good things. But when you're in your head and you're in your ego and you're edging God out and your left brain, you just want attention. Everybody here just wants attention. Me, 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 me. That's the old paradigm. The new paradigm is we, we. Because we're all in this together. We're one consciousness. We're one collective consciousness. And as a collective consciousness, we have unlimited power to do incredible things. But as solitary, ego-based people, we will never get anything done, ever. We are completely, we're in competition, and we're moving out of competition because it doesn't work on any level. Collaboration is where it's at. Anything I can do, we can do better. So it's a process of listening. We all need to listen to our higher selves. When we attune to that and we listen to our higher selves, all good things happen. That's why the practice of silence is so good for you. It's good for your mind, body, and spirit. Get out of your head. Get out of your head. Move into your heart. Move into your heart. That's where we need to go. That's where we originally came here as babies, and we were heart-centered beings. We were happy. We were joyful. We were excited about life. And then as we grew older, people said, you're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You're not fast enough. You're not strong enough. You're not good looking enough. And we moved from our hearts to our heads, and we developed all of these things called limiting beliefs. And they're not true. It's not you. It's all of this programming. And the thing that's good about programming is you can reprogram, but you need to defrag, reboot, and update your software to let go of those old stories that aren't serving you, because they're not serving you. And when you do that, the silence speaks. When you go to meditate, you go on silence, you will hear things that you never ever knew existed, because you're too busy talking all the time, which is where most people are. Yeah, me. No. We. Because if we continue as a species to war and to fight and to be out of balance, then the Mother Earth will evict us. She is a sentient being. We cannot keep destroying this planet and expect her to call us home. We are just, we're locusts on this planet, 100%. We're raping and pillaging the planet. Very few people are regenerative, But those of us that are tuned to our higher self, we're listening. We're listening to the truth. We're listening to what's real. And your higher self doesn't know how to lie. You do. You've developed that. That's been programmed into you. How to lie to yourself. But your higher self has always got your best interests at heart. It wants the best things for you all the time. So that's why we need to be silent and to listen. Listen, listen, listen. You hear that? That's the birds. How many people do that? How many people listen to the birds? They get up every morning and sing for us. But no, we're too busy with our distractions, our social medias. We don't listen to nature. That's your highest self. When you attune to that, you can let everything else go. Actions speak louder than words. No point in having all of this discussion if you're not doing anything about it. That's called preaching. The difference between preaching and teaching is when you teach, you embody these practices. That's my job. That's what I do. I embody these practices. And it's not easy. But once you do it, I've been practicing silence since I was 38, so almost 17 years. I used to do what I called talkless Tuesdays, and I wouldn't speak on Tuesday. It was a 1 day a week practice, and it was my favorite day of the week because I didn't have to listen to all the bullshit that people are always spewing. I just got to be quiet and listen to my higher self and attune to that message of love, compassion, peace, honesty, clarity, all the good things. All of the good things live in silence. Noise is part of the distractions. And that's why everything here is so noisy. If you go into a city, there's no silence. It's impossible to get silence. I live in the mountains in Mexico. That's one of the reasons that I live here is because I love how quiet it is. And after 8 o'clock, you can hear a pin drop here. There's no noise. Everybody's in bed and everybody's getting ready for the next morning when we get up early and get things done because we're all gardeners and this place is a giant garden and it's beautiful. And that's a good practice because you're out of the distractions. When you're in the cities, you're into the noise, you're into all the crap. It's very challenging. It's very challenging. I can't go into the cities anymore because I'm too empathic and I feel all the pain that people are experiencing. And the noise drives me crazy. There's always construction going on, or street lights, or vehicles, or there's always noise. And it, that's that's not our natural state. Our natural state is to be at peace, in love, compassionate, and silent. I'm going to open my eyes again now so that I've gone through a little bit of channeling here. I'm taking a channeling course on September 27th, by the way, which will help incorporate more for my podcasts. If you'd like to join on one of my podcasts and have a discussion live, it would be a joy, honor, and privilege to host you. So please just put something down in the comments there. If you like what I'm doing, please like this video. Subscribing to my channel warms my heart. If you have anybody that you know that can use this information, sharing is caring, and comments they make me smile. So please feel free to do what it is that your higher self is calling you to do. Tune out of that ego and tune in to your we go. Forget the ego, here we go. It's time in human history for us to evolve, to change, to grow. My life is my laboratory, my body is my temple, love is my practice. That's my motto. Oh, and I even took my face right on. And when you're not holding it, it makes it hard to see. Oh, and here we are. We are at full time. So I made it to 30 minutes, which is always my goal. I do these 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Um, Next time I'll put my tripod up so I'm not holding it so that you can see me. But the life that I'm living is a silent, fulfilling life. I'm here to be of service. I'm here to help. And I love everybody. And so please be your best self. Take some time, make some time for your precious self. Meditate. That's the first step for silence, and then move forward. Silence will get you everywhere that you need to be. So, once again, thank you for tuning in to Plant Powered Barefoot Brent. It's a joy, honor, and privilege to serve you. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm Brent Talbot on Facebook, Messenger. My Gmail is hugetry@gmail.com. Huge try. So if you have any questions that I can be of service with, I would I would be honored to help. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Wild Heart, because it's the Wild Hearts that tune into my channel. I love you, I love you, I love you. Have an amazing day. Ah, woo!